Hare Krishna. Today we will discuss Ram Katha on how the meeting of Lord Ram. Hare Krishna. Today we will discuss Ram Katha on how the meeting of Lord Ram. Hare Krishna. Today we will discuss Ram Katha on how the meeting of Lord Ram. Hare Krishna. Today we will discuss Ram Katha on how the meeting of Lord Ram. Hare Krishna. Today we will discuss Ram Katha on how the meeting of Lord Ram. Hare Krishna. We'll chant the Mangalachan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंकुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्. So let us begin our discussion. So today we are going to discuss about how Lord Ram, having met Shabri, he goes to the South India. In South India, Lord Ram meets Shabri, and then also he walks in this beautiful area of Pamp Sarovar, and they were seeing the trees and fragrances of the flowers, and it was so intoxicating. And all the animals in that place were so happy. The birds were singing, the peacocks were calling for the peahens, and the peahens were calling for the peacocks. And just by seeing this beautiful environment, which was so enjoyable, Lord Ramachandra remembered Sita Devi, Mother Sita, and thought that in this most beautiful, heavenly, enjoyable place, how I can be happy without sharing it with my beloved Sita. And that is the nature of love. The nature of love is that uh, a lover always remembers the beloved whenever they encounter something beautiful. So, when we see this world as God's spiritual energy, which is actually Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, for one who sees me everywhere and everything in me, for that person I am never lost, nor they are lost to me. So it is the spirit of sadhana that gives us the power to see things in this way. And for great devotees of the Lord, when we see a flower, we don't think, how will I enjoy this? A devotee always want to offer it to Krishna and think that how Krishna will enjoy this. So let me share this with Krishna. So that is the nature of Lord Ram's love for his devotees. And Pump Sarovar is such a beautiful place. Lord Ram was thinking how he can share this with Sita. But in that experience of wanting to share the most beautiful thing with Sita, he was feeling separation from Sita very strongly. And Sri Ramchandra cried, and Lakshmana was trying to pacify him. And Lakshman said that Kabanda has told us that we will find this monkey, uh, Sugriva, and we will make allies with him, and we will find Sita. So Ram was seeing Sita in everything. When he was hearing the sweet birds singing, he was looking at the sweetness of the flowers, fragrance, and the beauty of the lake. He was remembering Sita and thinking how we can share this with Sita. And after thinking this, Sugriva, who was on the Rishyamukha mountain, he he was able to see or hear, actually he was able to hear that where is this loud sound coming from, because Lord Ram was crying in separation of Sita Devi. So he turned towards Hanuman, and some of ministers came to him and said that we hear, and he said to them that I hear somebody crying down there. So what is this? And they jumped to a peak and looked down to Pump Sarovar, and they saw Ram and Lakshman, and they didn't know who they were. So they became very, very afraid. They looked like Brahmanas with matted hair. They were wearing tree barks, and at the same time, they were very strong, strongly built. Their bodies were strongly built, and their arms and shoulders, they had bows and quivers. And what Sugriva thought in his mind that they are the assistants of Bali. We always think what is always in our mind. So Sugriva was always fearful of Bali, so he thought probably they were sent by Bali to kill him. So we see the whole world according to our consciousness. When we are fearful of something, somehow each and everything that we see in connect, it will connect to that fear. Even if it is in proximity of what we are fearful of, we will link to that particular thing with which we are fearful. So if we ourselves are envious, then we will see envy in everybody else, even if others do not have envy. If we are lusty, we'll see, oh, that person is also lusty. If we are greedy, we'll judge everyone as being motivated by greed. And if we love Krishna, we'll see the essence within everyone. So beautiful. When we ourselves have love for Krishna, then we will see that love within others also. That they also have love. They also have the potential to love Krishna. So Sugriva was very, very pureful, very, very fearful. And Hanuman, he looked down and said, I don't think there's anything to worry about, Sugriva. And you don't even know who they are. They look like very beautiful, very mild, and very benevolent to me. And Sugriva said, how can I trust anyone when I know that Bali is trying to kill me? And he ordered Hanuman, take a form of ascetic Brahmana and go down and find out who they are. So Hanuman immediately changed his form by his yogic power. Ashta Siddhi Navnidhi ke data. Hanuman ji is Siddha Purush. Yes, yogic powers. And he looked like a sadhu Brahmana, and he came down to the hill of Pampasarovar. And when he approached Rama and Lakshmana, as soon as he saw them, his heart totally melted in ecstatic love for these two personalities. And he identified himself first. He spoke beautiful words to praise Lord Ram and Lakshman, glorifying the beauty of their forms and compassionate nature of their disposition, the way they walked, the way they talked. It was a beautiful glorification. And then he said, as for me, I am Hanuman and I am the messenger of Sugriva. I am actually in disguise. He actually revealed his true identity that I am really a monkey. And then he asked, please humbly tell me who you are. And Ram said to Lakshman that this Hanuman has identified himself and he has spoken the most perfect Sanskrit poetry. No one can speak like this. And not only was the form in which he spoke so absolutely attractive, but the content of its emotion, his sincerity, his devotion, and his love was so deep and so real. And he has told us that he is the messenger of Sugriva, and that is who we are looking for. So, so he, uh, so now Lakshmana, looking for an the allies to find Sita. So now Lakshmana, uh, Lord Ram said to Lakshmana that you tell him that who we are. So Lakshmana told the whole story to Hanuman about the beautiful city of Ayodhya, about the intentions of Kaikai, the exile, the beautiful life that they lived in Chitrakoot, and with the sages and rishis, and the he told about the abduction of Sita and how Kabanda, the celestial being, had informed that we should make allies with your master Sugriva to find Sita. Hanuman was so happy. He said, today there would be an unbreakable friendship between the two of you. He said, get on my back and I will take you there. So Ram went on one shoulder of Hanuman and Lakshman went on other shoulder of Hanumanji. And Hanuman took off from there and he went to the top of the mountain. So, so he took to the top of the mountain, and then Sugriva saw Lord Ram, and and he offered his respects to Ram. So he said, "My so they spoke together, and Sugriv basically uh, Hanumanji jumped to the top of the Rishyamukha mountain, and then within seconds, Ram and Lakshman were brought in front of Sugriva. They spoke together for some time, and Sugriva explained his situation, the pain of his heart. Sugriva was so fearful of Bali. He said, my brother Bali has stolen my wife. And what was the name of wife of Sugriva? It was Ruma. And the wife of Bali is Tara. So he said, my brother has stolen my wife Ruma and he has banished me from this kingdom. And he is looking to kill me. He wants to kill me. And Rama had promised that I'll restore your wife and kingdom. So Sugriva said, I promise that I'll also help you to bring Sita back. So they held hands together and then Ram lovingly embraced Sugriva. And seeing this, Hanumanji was so happy. Hanumanji was very, very happy. And uh, he saw that the embrace of Rama and Sugriva has happened. So he was happy with this alliance. And immediately Hanumanji started a sacred fire. And Hanumanji was expert at everything. He learned singing from Saraswati Devi. You know, his guru is Suradev's, and no one could sing like Hanumanji. And he knew every type of instruments perfectly. He could recite poetry, he knew Shastras by memory, his dancing, his heroic deeds. He did yogic asanas, and knew about medicines, and he had Brahminical qualities of performing yagyas. And Hanuman was expert at everything, not because he was trained in all these, but he was blessed by Brihaspati, and the guru of demigods, to have the same knowledge as him. So imagine Brihaspati has such a great abundance of knowledge, and everything that is known by Surya, the sun god, was shared with him. So all this music, poetry, everything was given by Saraswati to him. And along with that, he was given the powers of Indra, Varuna, Shiva. So he performed a yajna, and Rama and Sugriva sat by the fire as he recited the mantras. And the purpose of this mantra was so that Sugriva and Rama could take vows to be allies, to help each other in life and death. Similarly, when we get initiated, we sit in front of the fire, offer our ahuti to the fire sacrifice, and vow that we will be committed to our Guru in life and in death and keep our vows. So, similarly, after taking these vows and having fire sacrifice, Hanumanji went to cook. It is explained in the Ramayana. And he was expert in cooking also. He went and got some herbs and root. He knew like what herbs and roots can be cooked and eaten. And all the fruits and vegetables from the forest. He cooked them very nicely and he prepared a great feast and served it to Ram and Sugriva. And after this meal, Sugriva explained his entire story to Lord Ramachandra. And he told that in Kishkinda Kshetra there is also an Asura and his name is Mayavi. And he had attacked Kishkindra and especially challenged Vali to fight. So now he's telling the whole story, how it all happened, how they became arch rivals. So this Mayavi Danav, he challenged Vali to fight, and Vali was so powerful that Riksharaj was the king of the monkeys, and he had two sons. One was the expansion of Indra, Vali, and the other was expansion of Surya, who was Sugriva. So he was Indra or Vali, and Surya was Sugriva. So Vali was the elder brother, and both Sugriva and Riksharaja had such honor and respect for Vali's incredible powers that after Rishkaraj retired and left this world, Vali became the king. So he was so powerful, and he also explained some of his power. He said Vali would go to all the four oceans every day, northeast, south, west, everywhere. Um, and he would chant his Sandhya, his Gayatri mantra. He would jump same morning to the Eastern Ocean. He would do his Gayatri, then to the Western Ocean, to the Northern Ocean. And now these oceans are tens and thousand miles away from each other. But if it would just do as a part of routine every day. And one day, what happened is Ravana also attacked Vali. And because Ravana was looking for someone to fight with, and he had heard that Vali was so powerful, so he challenged while Vali was doing his Gayatri in an ocean. See, Ravana is always looking for vulnerable timings and emotions of people. Like he also attacked Mother Sita because he knew that she is very kind and compassionate to the sadhus. So he took advantage of that weakness, or it is actually a strength. So Vali grabbed Ravana and put him under his arm like this and held him there. And Ravana's arm were coming out on one side and his legs on the other side, but his face was under Vali's arm. And Vali effortlessly kept him there. And Ravana, with all his powers, couldn't get out. But for Vali, he still had three more oceans to go. So he jumped to the Eastern Ocean, he jumped to the Western Ocean and did his Gayatri, took his baths. And all the while, Ravana was actually entrapped under his arm. And Ravana was not happy because it's not a nice place to keep somebody. So ultimately, um, he just let go of Ravana like a little insect and say, "Okay, now you do whatever you want." And Ravana said, "Oh, you are so powerful. You are very strong. I couldn't even conceive of you." So he praised him and said, "We should be allies and we should be friends. We should defend each other." So Vali agreed, and Vali became friends with Ravana. So this Mayavi, he came to attack Kishkinda Kshetra and he insulted Vali, and Vali did not like to be insulted. So he went and attacked Mayavi, and it was a gigantic, enormous person, and they were fighting and fighting, and Vali was pulverizing this demon, and he ran away. So Vali ran after him and Sugriva also ran. And Mayavi ultimately, after running for such a long time, he went inside a cave. And Vali told Sugriva that you wait outside. I am going in. And Sugriva said, no, 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 I'll go with you. I am your brother. I am a faithful servant. I will do anything for you. I'll fight for you. Vali said, no, you wait out here. And if I win the fight, then we'll go down together back to Kishkinda. But if I lose, then you should seal the cave with a big rock so that this demon cannot get out. So Sugriva agreed and he said, okay. So they were fighting and fighting, and he could hear the fighting happening. And suddenly he saw a massive roar, and then blood started oozing out of the cave. So when this was happening, Sugriva did not hear Bali's voice, and he thought, and he only heard Mayavi's voice. So he thought that my brother, my lord, is dead. And Sugriva was broken-hearted. He was weeping, he was crying, and he took a gigantic rock to seal the mouth of the cave. And then after that, he went back to Kishkinda, told everyone, "Oh, our king Bali is dead." So Tara, is Bali's wife, was weeping. Angad is Bali's son. He was also crying. So everyone was crying, and more people. Sugriva was also weeping. He loved his brother more than anyone else. He was very faithful to him. He had no aspiration but to serve and assist him. So all the ministers told Sugriva that now, since Bali is dead, you should become the king. You are his younger brother. And Sugriva said, no, how can I take the throne of Bali? So all the ministers said that it is an emergency. Our dynasty cannot survive without a king. So they literally ordered him to be coronated. And in separation and love for his brother, he accepted the position of the king just to take care of the monkey citizens who were living in Kishkinda. So after some time, Bali, who was still alive inside the cave, he removed that big rock. And when he came back, he saw Sugriva sitting on the throne. And he was totally mad. And he thought that my brother tried to kill me by sealing me in the cave so that he could take my wife, my throne, my son, all my powers, all my ministers, all my army, everything. How greedy is Sugriva? He's so envious of me. And Vali was so angry that he attacked Sugriva. And Sugriva was shocked. He was actually very happy to see Bali alive, but he was not happy to see him angry on him. He said that, Bali, I am so happy you are alive. I thought you are dead. I was crying for days and weeks for you. And I'll give your throne back to you. I'll give you back everything. I'll serve you for my whole life. I didn't mean this. It was a misunderstanding. But Vali was so angry and is so passionate that when you are in anger, you do not understand anything. You know? So the Bhagavad Gita explains that ध्यायतो विषय पुंसा संगतेषु उपजायते संगात संजायते कामा कामा क्रोधो अभिजायते. He was so much in krodha. क्रोधो भवति सम्मोह सम्मोह स्मृति विभ्रम स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशो प्रणश्यति. When we are contemplating on the object of senses, lust develops. From lust, attachment. And when attachment is unfulfilled, it becomes anger. And anger, we bewilder our memory. And when the memory is bewildered, what happens? Intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, which happened to Bali, we do things which are so detrimental and degrading to ourselves that, and also everyone around, it's so detrimental to them as well. So, which was detrimental for Sugriva, the anger of Bali. And Sugriva was very innocent. He was a simple, innocent-hearted monkey, being the son of Suryadev. He was totally misunderstood. just like Bharat was misunderstood by many, that he wants the kingdom of Lord Ram, and therefore he asked Kekai to banish Lord Ram into exile. So Vali was determined to kill him. And they were fighting and fighting, and Sugriva was no match, so he started running. He had to run away to save his life. And he remembered that Sugriva was telling Ram this story, and then there is one place in the world where Vali could not go. So, so there is another pastime related to this. There was a monstrous asura or demon called Dundupi, who took a massive giant for like a buffalo, a demoniac buffalo. He went to the god of the ocean and said, I want to fight with you. And he went to all these different demigods, and nobody would fight with him, this Dundubi. And they all said that you should go to Vali if you want to fight. He's the one to fight. So that day, uh, Dundubi, he came to Kishkinda Kshetra to fight Bali. And Sugriva was explaining that what kind of fight it was, and ultimately they fought for many hours and hours, and finally Bali grabbed him by his horn because it's a buffalo, demoniac buffalo, and threw him into the ground and punched him and punched him and punched him, and then picked him up and whirled him around and threw him down again and punched him and kicked him and jumped on him, and then Dundupi was dead. And he whirled the dead body of Dundubi, and threw it like 8 miles away. And when he threw it, the body of Dundubi landed in Matang Rishi's ashram. Now, Matang Rishi is the guru of Shabri. So he's a great yogi, and he's always worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Ram. And large quantity of blood of this demon splattered everywhere where he was performing yajna. And all the sages, all his disciples who were there, and they also got disturbed. So he was not happy. So immediately he chanted a curse. He said, I curse that monkey who threw this demon into my fire sacrifice with this impure blood of a asura. If that monkey comes within 4 miles radius of my ashram, he will turn into stone. So Vali heard that, and though he was traveling the whole world, he would never come to Rishyamukha mountain because that was within the 4 mile radius of Matanga Rishi's ashram. And Sugriva was running around the world trying to escape from Vali's wrath, and ultimately he took shelter of the Rishyamukha mountain. And Hanumanji, whose guru was Suradev, and Hanumanji had promised Suradev that I'll protect your son Sugriva and I'll always be on his side no matter what happens. So he was also there. So after hearing this story of Sugriva from of Vali from Sugriva, Lord Ram said that okay, let us go. I will kill Vali, and I'll give your wife and the kingdom you deserved. And Sugriva said that I know your faith and your word of honor is more precious than anything in creation, but still I'm afraid. I have seen Vali's power. And then Lakshmana said that what does Ram have to do to prove to you his powers? And Lakshmana was very confident that Ram can actually kill Vali. So Sugriva, he took Lord Ram to Dundubi's bones, and these Dundubi bones were like big giant mountain of skeleton and weighed thousands of tons. And Vali picked them up and threw him. So, can you do it? Sugriva asked Lord Ram that Vali was able to pick him up, but these are just the bones. Can you throw them? So Lord Ram, with one flick of one foot, he effortlessly kicked the skeleton, and the skeleton flew 80 miles away. But Sugriva was still so terrorized by Vali. He said, okay, you know that Vali, when he lifted this demon Dundubi, it had flesh and fat and, and muscles, not just bones. You just did the skeleton. So, but you see all these salt trees. These were seven salt trees in a row, and each of them have a width of 30 human arms, like around you can uh, hold the tree by 30 human arms. So it is said that even in Trita Yuga, arms would not cover the width of these trees. So he said that these salt trees are extremely dense and strong, and Vali used to uproot them and snap them. So if you can shoot an arrow through one of these, I can understand that you can conquer my brother. So he wanted to basically take the test of Lord Ram. So Ram smiled and took out an arrow. He chanted a special mantra, and arrow went flying. So he shot that one arrow. It went through one tree, another tree, another tree. It went through all the seven trees. And then that arrow, after piercing through all the seven trees, went down into the earth, went to the very bottom of the center of the earth, went to the Pataloka and came out again and went into the air like a blazing fire and entered once again into Rama's quiver back. So that is the power of Lord Ram. Lord Sri Ramachandra Bhagwan ki jai. So Sugriva was now convinced, looking at the powers of Lord Ram, and Ram told Sugriva that go to Kishkinda and challenge Vali to a battle. And now this was taking serious faith. So Sugriva went to the outskirts of Kishkinda and then he started insulting Vali, and Vali was so furious. Who is this brother of mine? He ran away from the battle as a coward, and now he's coming to fight with me and he's challenging me and insulting me. He ran out and they started fighting, and they were both incredibly powerful. But within a short amount of what happened, Vali started pulverizing Sugriva, and he was pounding him and pounding him and pounding him, and Sugriva was suffering miserably. And he was thinking, where is Ram? He's supposed to help me. So finally, when he was on the verge of defeat and death, he somehow wiggled out of Vali's clutches and ran away as fast as he could and jumped back on the Rishyamukha mountain because Vali cannot come there. So he was lying on the ground. And Ram came and Sugriva said that I trusted you. I exposed myself to my brother's wrath and you promised me you will protect me. Why didn't you protect me? Ram said, I wanted to protect you. Then why didn't you protect me? Because you and Vali look identical. When you were fighting, I didn't know who was Vali and who were you, and I was afraid I might shoot you. So Ram told Lakshman, go into the forest and make a nice garland of roots and flowers and herbs and put it on Sugriva's body. And Lakshman came and made a garland and they put it on Sugriva. And Ram said, now when you are fighting, I will know who you are because you have a garland. Now go back and challenge him again. Such a faith. So Sugriva came down and he's already beaten, exhausted, and he rested a while and came down some hours later. He started roaring, Vali, I challenge you to fight. You are a coward. You have stolen. You are immoral. You are a worst person. He just started saying bad words about Vali, and Vali was not bad, true words. And Vali was even more angry and was about to rush and fight with him and kill him. And Tara, who's Vali's wife, she said there is something wrong. She understood. She said, you should not go, Vali. And Vali said, get out of my way. She stood in front of him and she said, do not go. There is something wrong. You just defeated him. He was on the verge of death. Why would he come back to fight with you again with such confidence? And I have heard that there are two princes who are going to help him, the sons of Dashrath. They will kill you. Please don't go there. You have done so many immoral things. Your destiny will be to die if you go out there to fight with him. Just stay here. So she understood she has done immoral things. He has done immoral things. But Vali was so much upset. His anger and his ego were so big. He told Tara, I am in no danger. You don't know what you are talking about. Get out of my way. And she just rushed out. So they started fighting, Vali and Sugriv. And ultimately, Bali defeated Sugriv, and Sugriv was lying on ground helplessly. Vali had his knees on Sugriv's defeated body, and then with his hands clenched together, he lifted both his hands above his head to pounce down and to give death blow, final death blow to Sugriva. What happened? Ramchandra, who was behind the tree, hidden behind those leaves of the tree, he was watching. And just as Vali raised his arms to smash down with his final death blow, Lord Ram, what he did? He let loose an arrow and he shot it with such force that it sounded like thunder. It hit the chest of Vali, pierced his heart. And Vali's body was so strong and so full of power that when it hit and penetrated his body, it was like thunder. And blood came and Vali fell down. He was lying there, he didn't know what happened. So Ram came before him and Vali said, "Why did you do that? What kind of dharma is this? Why didn't you fight with me face to face? Why were you hiding behind trees so I couldn't even see you when you killed me from that position? This is not the activity of a Kshatriya. This is a coward activity. If you wanted Kabanda's alliance, why didn't you make allies with me? I could have defeated Ravana." So Ram replied, "You are speaking of adharma, actions against dharma. I am simply an instrument of your own destiny. Where was your dharma when you created such havoc and cruelty in your brother's life? Sugriva was the most faithful servant you had ever had, and he loved you and served you endlessly. But you made him live in fear. You banished him to live on a mountain, and you tortured him, and you took away his wife Ruma as your own because of your ignorance, because of your cruelty. So this is your karmic destiny. But because you will die from my arrow, you will be liberated of all your karma and you will attain my abode. And beside that, I am a Kshatriya and you are in the body of a monkey." So Vali needed that arrow in this chest and so that he could hear these teachings. So he accepted whatever Ram said, and tears of love started flowing from his eyes. And he said, "My dear Lord, everything you say is true. This is my destiny, and you have given me, and I am grateful to you for that." At that time, Tara, who is Wali's wife, hearing what has happened, she came running out to be with her husband. And some of the monkeys who were Wali's associates stopped her and said, "We have to escape because now Sugriva is going to be the king, and because we have persecuted him for so many years, he is going to destroy us. What to speak of what he might do to your son? Take him away." But Tara ran to the side of her husband, and Angada came to the father Wali's side, and they were weeping and crying. And then Tara, who's the wife of Wali, she was barely breathing, and she said, "My dear husband, why didn't you listen to me? Don't blame anyone for this happening. You caused so much pain to Sugriva and to Rama and to Ruma that you engaged in so many arrogant, egoistic activities that caused so many offenses. This is your karmic destiny. But because beloved Lord Rama has given you this, how fortunate you are." Wali turned to Ram. He said, "Please give my wife Tara all protection and my son Angada. Please give him happiness and protection. Accept him as your own son." And it is that is my only wish. And then he told Tara, "You should accept Sugriva in the same way you accept me." And then he said to Angada, "Consider Sugriv to be your own father and love him and serve him as you have loved and served me." And then he turned to Sugriva and said, "I have made so many offenses to you. I beg your forgiveness. We could have and should have lived happily as brothers for many years, but due to my arrogance and ego, I spoiled our relationship. I caused you so much pain. I am so sorry about it." Wali then took off a golden necklace from his chest. It was necklace of the king, and he put it around the neck of Sugriva and he said, that now with the grace of Lord Rama, following the guidelines of Sri Ram, be the king and rule all the health and happiness with the true principles of Dharma in the center. And then looking at the beautiful lotus-like face of Lord Ram, Vali left this body. He breathed his last. And Tara fell to the ground along with Angad and Sugriva, and they were all crying and crying. And Sugriva said to Ram that, my dear brother, he punished me because he never killed me. But at the first chance I had, I killed him. And now look at the suffering to his wife, his child, and everyone else because of me. Sugriva told Ram that Hanuman and others will help find Sita. I ask permission. Let me take my life away. I cannot live with my brother dead like this. And then Tara, with incessant tears in her eyes, said to Ram that with the same arrow that you have pierced the heart of my husband, please take that arrow and pierce my heart. And if you think that it is not dharma to kill a woman like me, don't think of it this way because I am non different from my husband. I am half of his body, Ardhangini. And just consider it as completion of your killing of him, but I cannot live any longer. Ram spoke to Tara. He said, the soul is eternal. Na jayate mrite eva kadachin. The soul, there is neither birth nor death. The physical body is subjected to birth, old age, disease, and death, deterioration, sustenance. But for the embodied being, death is certain and rebirth is certain. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, for the Atma, the living force, there is no death. I have liberated the soul of your husband. At the same time, on the physical level, he has to meet the destiny that is created for himself with his cruelty and offenses. Now he is free from those offenses. And he said to her, you are the mother of Angada. You have duties to perform as his mother. So you stay in this world, be happy, and I'll bless you, and Sugriva will protect you under all circumstances. Tara was completely pacified by this. Then Ram turned towards Sugriva and said to Sugriva that if you love your brother, why don't you do something for him now? He is dead. His soul is immortal, but his body is dead. So all your lamentation and feeling sorry for yourself and blaming yourself, what is doing that for him? Perform the last rites of Vali and liberate his soul forever. So Sugriva was pacified, and Ram promised Sugriv that I will give all protection to Angad and all of you, and for the eternal soul of his father. So there was a grand royal funeral for Vali, and they got a wooden palanquin and put jewels and silks and everything ornate, and they carried Vali. It was an incredible event with such a feeling and love for everyone. And after the chanting of mantras and offering of the prayers, Angad circumambulated the body of his father and he lit it on fire. And Ram told Lakshman and Hanuman that now you should coronate Sugriva as the king of Kishkinda. And Hanuman invited Ram to perform the ceremony, but Ram would not enter into the city of Kishkinda. Even though it was a jungle city, he said that when I was exiled, I made a promise I would not enter into any inhabited city or village. So he did not enter. So there is a place on the banks of the Tungabhadra river. That is the place that Hanuman and Lakshman coronated Sugriva as the king. So dark clouds were forming in the sky and rain was pouring. And in those days, monsoons and it was very difficult to travel. And Ram told Sugriv that for the months of Chaturmasya, I'll remain alone in the Pravarshana mountain or Malyavanta. So, and he said, during these four rainy seasons, rainy months, I will stay in a cave. And you live in your kingdom of Kishkinda. So when the monsoon rain stops, then we will search for Sugriva, and Sugriva has given us this word. So we will resume after that. And when Lord Ram and Sugriva first met on the Rishyamukha mountain, Sugriva told Rama that actually not long ago, Hanuman and myself and a few other of my monkey friends and ministers, we were on top of the mountain sitting on a rock and we saw something incredible. And there was a terrible, powerful being on the chariot in the sky, and he was holding a beautiful, beautiful woman. She was weeping, she was crying, and she was shouting, Ram, Lakshman, save me, save me. And she looked so desperate, and she was trying to squirm out of his arms, but he held her very tightly, and she saw sitting on the rock without asking anyone. She tore a piece of her cloth, put some jewel in that cloth, tied it up, threw it down, and I still have those jewels. I have kept in the cave that I am living in. So Ram said, You have Sita's jewels? Show me those jewels. Sugriva ran back to his cave, and as part of her um, uh, in the cave where those jewels of Sita's were kept, Sugriva ran out of that little cloth with the jewels. And when Lord Ram saw those jewels, he held it to his head and cried the name of Sita. He was seeing Sita in each of those jewels. So Hanuman, Sugriv, Jamvan, they vowed to Ram that we will conquer Ravan and we will bring her back to you. So during these 4 months of the rainy season, which includes now, like August, July, August, and all those season. So Lord Ram was living there in a cave, and 4 months of the cave, Ram and Lakshman would look out and see the lightning, thunder, and torrents of monsoon rain, and they didn't go anywhere. So Ram was always constantly remembering Sita. He was meditating on his beloved Sita Devi, and he was always thinking about the pastimes that they had together. And he knew that Sita was feeling even more pain in separation from him, but she was under the control of evil demoniac Ravana. So this was the meditation of Ram. He was sitting there for 4 months, and for Lakshman, who loved Ram billions of times more than he loved his own life. So seeing the pain of separation from Sita that Ram was enduring was causing so much pain to Lakshman. So Ram is Bhagwan. He is controller of all controllers. He's Mahavishnu, the creator of cosmic manifestation. Garbhodakshai Vishnu is the creator of each universe and from whom Brahma is born. All expansions of Rama. So yet he's playing the role of a human being to perform pastimes that will enchant our hearts. And while enchanting and attracting our hearts to the drama and emotion of this pastime, he's teaching us the highest principle of dharma and giving us the purest example of how we should live and the greatest integrity in every situation. Sometimes, as human beings, we complain, why this is happening to me? But Ram, he is all attractive, all powerful, supreme personality of Godhead. When he took the role of human being, he did had to go through this. He had to go through this exile of 14 years, and he was betrayed from his own family members. He was um, exiled. His father died, and his beloved wife was abducted. So, but still, it was raining, and Indra is the servant of Lord Ram. He just had to say, Indra, shut off this rain, and Indra would have no choice. And Vali was the son of Indra. So, but the Leela of Ram is so deep, and he killed Vali. But the Leela of Ram is so deep, so mysterious, and so beautiful that by renouncing and detaching himself from his supreme power, he's showing us to demonstrate his love in the sweetest way, and he waited for rains to end. And how painful it was for him. They are sitting here in the Pravarshana, Malyavanta, and Ram would tell Lakshman that waiting for these 4 months for the rain to end, every moment is like millions and millions of years for me in separation from Sita. And we are feeling so helpless that we cannot even look for Sita in this kind of weather. So this is the Vipralamba Bhav of Ram and with Sita. This is Viraha, love and separation. This is the deepest, most intimate mystery of the path of Bhakti Yoga. When our beloved is physically not before us, the heart pours out an offering to them, in separation. That love is very, very deep. So Krishna is Paramatma in our hearts as Janardhana, Bhavgrahi Janardhana. He reciprocates with our love when our love goes deeper, intensified. Fueled by separation, the fire of our love blazes higher and higher and deeper into our very soul. So it was ecstasy of love in separation that Ram was feeling with in the Malyavanta. And it was the same love in the Ashok Vatika or Ashok groves of Ravana's garden in Sri Lanka that Sita was experiencing on the other side. They were together and they were in the most intimate way united through love and separation. And after the 4 months of rainy season ended, then Sugriva, he was looking at the condition of Ram, and then Ram and Lakshman said, "Okay, now this time has passed. These 4 months have passed. Now, where is Sugriva?" So what happened was Sugriva was a king, and he had all these beautiful princess and queens and luxuries and enjoying the drinks and intoxicating nectars, eating the finest kind of beverages. He had golden throne and beds. So he was enjoying. He was intoxicated actually. And in that intoxication, what happens in intoxication? He forgot about Ram. Is it that possible? Yes. We are so much busy trying to enjoy and struggle that we forget. So sometimes we really need a serious awakening of what our real purpose in life is. Then Lakshmana said to Ram uh, that Ram said to Lakshmana that I think Sugriva is intoxicated by his position and he has forgotten us. Then Lakshmana got very angry and Lakshmana said, I'll go down to Kishkinda Kshetra and I'll punish Sugriva. So he went down to the hill and he was anger personified and Hanumanji told Sugriva that what about Ram? What about Sita? You gave your word. You should tell Neela to proclaim it to the monkeys throughout the world to come and assemble to search for Sita. And Sugriva, by Hanuman's mercy, actually kind of woke up and said, yes, call them. So Hanuman has already woken up Sugriva, and in that time, Lakshmana also went. He was very angry. And they saw Lakshman so disturbed and went to tell Sugriv that all the monkeys went and told that Lakshman is very angry. And Sugriv said that I am going to go out and tell Lakshman that I'll meet him a little later. I cannot meet him now. Look at me. He was the middle of enjoyment. So the messenger went out and message came where Lakshmana is really angry with you. What was his anger? He was for 4 months he was seeing Ram's emotion in separation. And here is Sugriva enjoying all these luxuries, completely oblivious of Rama's suffering. And Ram was living in this cave in Prashavan, and Sugriva was living in highest luxuries of the world. And he got all these luxuries just because of Ram. So Ram told Lakshman something we should always remember. The worst attribute of a human character is not to be grateful. When we are given something and we have no gratitude, that is one of the lowest, most condemned state of consciousness. It is foundational for bhakti to have a grateful heart. If we are actually grateful, then in honor, dishonor, happiness, distress, pleasure, pain, disease, good health, success, failure, respect, disrespect, we are actually grateful to Krishna that I am yours in any situation. And how can I serve you, my dear Krishna? Let me take shelter of me. Let me call out your holy names. And being grateful is more than just saying thank you and then criticizing that person. Being grateful is actually a state of consciousness. And if we are grateful for every breath we breathe, every morsel of food we, of water that we eat, ability to hear, ability to move, if we are grateful for all those things, that would be the success. So suppose if you have asthma and you are dying because you can't get one breath, you start to value what air really means to you. We are just breathing right now like thousands and thousands of times a day and with no gratitude whatsoever. But you are having attack and you would give everything you just own for some little air to come into your lungs. So sometimes the difficulties of life are there to help deepen our awareness of what's really valuable, right? So difficulties of life are sometimes good so that we deepen our relationship with Krishna. So we are a devotee, and at the time of death, we are grateful that we are eternal souls, and we are grateful that Krishna is here to deliver me at this moment. And if this is how we should be living, with every breath of our life in bhakti, we express our gratitude through sadhana, not through just saying thank you, but we say thank you, and if we mean it, we live and thank you. How I may serve you, my Lord, in every situation because I am grateful. So it was by Lord's grace, Ram's grace, that Sugriva, was freed from clutches of exile. And it was Ram's grace that he had kingdom, his wife, and everything. And Ram was suffering in the same way as Vali was suffering before. But now, since Sugriva wasn't suffering, he had no acknowledgement of Ram's suffering. Lakshman considered to be such a huge violation of human dignity that he came to fix it. And when Sugriva heard that, Lakshman was very angry and he cannot wait for Sugriv to finish his enjoyment. He told Tara, Vali's wife, he said, go out and speak to Lakshmana because Lakshmana will feel sorry for you. You lost your husband and try to pacify him. So Tara came out and told Lakshmana that please understand Sugriva was without any of these pleasures for so many years and now they have been given to him. So he is a material nature. He has fallen into his mind and senses and it is his weakness. But ultimately he is a good person. Please forgive him. He'll wake up. You'll be all right. Just try to wake up right now. And then Angad said, come, come, I will bring you to see. And then Lakshman went into that room. He saw all the fine decorations, comforts, beautiful females, drinks, foods, and Sugriva was lying there wallowing in pleasure. I was thinking of Rama sitting up there on the stone floor of a cave in separation from Sita. He looked at Sugriva with eyes that were very red hot like charcoal, and he looked at him. He was about to burn the universe. Immediately, Sugriva apologized, and seeing Lakshman in this state, he begged forgiveness and said, let us go immediately. The search has already begun. I have already called my soldiers, and they are coming from all directions. And they all came up where we were sitting. um and they all came up and they started making plans. And Sugriva was explaining all the different parts of the world that he was going to dispatch his people to. And Rama said to Sugriva, how do you know in such detail about all these different places all over the world? And Sugriva said, when I was running away from Vali, I ran all over the world, but I couldn't escape him. But I saw these places. So this is a really good lesson. Even though he was in such a dangerous predicament running for his life, what he learned there was now used in the service of Lord. Similarly, even our Maya or illusion for so many years living in this world, we have gained so many skills and awareness and understandings. Now that we have come in contact with bhakti devotional service, we can utilize all these things in the service of the Lord according to what is favorable for our service. He sent one force of Vanaras in the northern direction, other in the eastern direction, other in the uh, western and southern direction. And he said to everybody that I give you just 1 month to find Sita. You must find her. And he said, Sugriva said that I'll punish you, and if you are not back with news within 1 month, that will not be good. So they all started going in different directions. So So for Angad, Jamvan, Leela, and Hanuman, Sugriv said, "You go in the sudden direction." Because he thinks that is the way Ravana was going on his aeroplane. Sugriva began to speak to Hanumanji. He said that, "Oh, everyone, I deeply believe in you, Hanuman, because you will be one to find Sita. Because of your love for Ram, your determination, your devotion, and the basis of that love and devotion and power, your intelligence and determination, I am sure you will find Sita." And Ram, he heard this and was so pleased by Sugriva's word to Hanuman. Ram approached Hanumanji and said that of all these devotees, I believe because of your devotion, you will find Sita. And to give her confidence that you are truly my messenger, give her this ring. Ram took his own finger ring with his name on it, engraved Ram. With tears in his eyes, he pressed the ring to his heart and he said, "Give this to Sita, and she will know. And tell her how I am sitting in the cave crying and waiting to meet her again. And I'll do anything, I'll destroy all the worlds to bring her back if necessary." Hanuman took the ring, and then Ram told Hanuman certain secrets that no one in creation except Sita and Ram knew about, of their intimate interactions. And he said, "Tell her this, and she will know that you are truly my messenger, and tell her my love." So Hanumanji took that ring and put it into his head and departed. So thank you very much for patiently hearing. Hare Krishna.